I create realities. I work to develop artificial experiences using virtual reality technologies. Large, walk-in 3D projection rooms, military-grade head-mounted displays, and today, with 3D virtual reality headsets that you could buy at your local electronics store. But throughout, my purpose has remained the same: to improve our skills and our knowledge using artificial experiences. It's commonly said that there are two ways of learning: the easy way and the hard way. Perhaps you learned that fire is hot by actually reaching into flames at one point and burning yourself. That would be the hard way. Or maybe you took instruction. Somebody warned you. Somebody told you that fire was hot, and if you burned yourself by reaching onto a hot pan, for instance, that you would hurt. And so you've never done it, and you've never been burned. You learned the easy way. But some things can't be taught the easy way. Like flying an airplane. It takes experience flying and landing an aircraft in order to become skilled and qualified. I know when I get into an airplane, I certainly hope that the pilot has taken off and landed and experienced that several times before I get in there. I don't want them to have just read a book and then we take off. And so to fill that gap, to bridge that gap to experience, we've created flight simulators. I work to use this principle in developing other types of training simulations, like training security personnel to guard high-profile public facilities before those facilities have been built, or training emergency room personnel to do obscure procedures that don't happen every day, but have them in their hands so they're ready when the time comes. Or to train combat medics to react quickly and decisively and assertively, even in the most stressful situations. In all these cases, we're not just teaching knowledge. I'm not just transferring skills, but we're forming procedural memories and emotional connections. And I'm surprised consistently at how effective this is, even when the graphics aren't that good, even when the participants don't believe what they're experiencing. If you imagine with me that we are standing above the city on a tiny, wavering platform. You're looking over at the rusted edge, and the sound of the wind is blowing past your ears. You know that it isn't real, but you might feel a little concerned. Even though you know it's a virtual world, when virtual birds come flying at your virtual head, you'll duck and dodge to avoid them. You know that they lack substance, but you'll do it anyway. You might even feel a little dizzy. I think the tendency for our bodies to react to the virtual world as though it were real can be put to very good use. For learning things that aren't intellectual, that aren't skills, that go deeper than that, like with our pain. People with spinal cord injury often report neuropathic pain, sometimes called ghost pain, that seems to come from their paralyzed legs. This kind of pain does not respond well to drugs. But it's been shown that by viewing an image of legs walking from a first-person perspective, as if it was their legs, even though it's up on a screen, even though they know it isn't real. It's obviously not their legs. It's a video recording of somebody else's legs. It alleviates their pain for some time. We are now working to advance this technology into a fully immersive, interactive, virtual reality experience where the participant swings their arms, and in the virtual world where they inhabit an avatar, those legs walk in time with the arm swings so that they engage with the world. It's a fantastical world, but they're able to engage with it with puzzle and exploration, getting their mind and their bodies engaged in a way that changes their minds. And this is, even though the world is fantastical, it's not a realistic world. They know that this isn't really happening. They know that they're not actually walking. It goes beyond their belief. This kind of powerful technology is coming to you. Virtual reality has left the million-dollar labs. It's not just an advanced apparatus for university or government or military research. This is a thing that we can all use to improve our skills, to learn hard lessons the easy way. And I don't mean just video games or seeing something that's far away that you wouldn't otherwise get to experience, as cool as that is. I mean training ourselves to be different. The tools we've used in the past have been extremely obscure programming languages and very difficult to use graphics engines. But today, you can download freely available point-and-click software to create the same sorts of experiences much more easily. You can even create the 3D assets by just drawing in space. And I won't be surprised when very soon you simply describe to your device what reality you want to experience, and it creates that for you. Creating realities for you to shape yourself, to learn new things, to change the way you react, presumably for the better, but possibly also for the worse. I mean, you could teach yourself things that aren't true. You could train yourself to react poorly. You could change your mind so that you make decisions that are wrong. Decisions that are wrong. How can we navigate such a powerful technology? Well, I don't think we have to wait for the future to address this. Because right now, today, you create realities. When you listen to a story, it changes your mind. When you then hear someone else tell the same story differently from their perspective, you naturally prefer the first version you heard. You're cognitively anchored in whatever you happen to have heard the first time. When you keep up on world events and listen to the news and you enjoy that and you feel well informed, but then some things upset and frustrate you, you're naturally reaffirming your biases when you're relearning the same thing again and avoiding something that is maybe an uncomfortable truth. And social media helps us by doing it for us. It reinforces this by rejecting ideas we dislike before we ever have to ourselves, before we're ever made to feel uncomfortable. And this is just with ideas. This is with words. These are things that we are prepared to critically evaluate or logically consider. We've seen that with artificial experience, we can completely bypass our ability to decide. Our body changes because we experienced it. It goes beyond our beliefs. I'm confident that we can use this technology not just to learn new skills, not just to improve our reactions, but to become more and to become better people. So far in this life, you've been faced with a world that you had to learn about and deal with. You're now being given the tools to shape yourselves with realities of your own design. The power of these tools lies precisely in their danger. Our bodies will believe the realities we create for them. So it's critical that we form a vigilant and intentional practice around the realities we create every day today, so that we get in the habit of creating realities that are not merely comfortable escapes, but teach us things, that grow us, that make us into the better people that we want to be and think we are. so that we form the habit now, as we gain this power, to create realities not just that are enjoyable, but that are worth living in, so that we can create realities worth sharing. Thank you.